Hello Stampers, I'm Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com, coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today we have a blog hop. Our theme is pretty in pink. I think you're gonna like my pink cards. I know I do. I chose to use the Celebrate Sunflowers and the Sunflower dies for some very stunning cards. Let's flip the camera around and I'll show you what I made. We are going to be using the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle with the sunflower dies. And oh my gosh, these are so pretty. So our theme today is pretty in pink. And we got to pick whichever kind of pink we liked. Let me bring my card layers in here for you. I decided that Magenta Madness was my pink for today. So I've got a layer of that that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I've got a layer of our gold foil. This is 3 by 4 1/4, and then a piece that's a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. A white layer for a banner that's 3/4 by 4. A Whisper white thick card base, and then I brought in the rainbow glimmer paper because I could pick the pink on there. So our glimmer paper, let me get this glue dot off of there, looks like this. And I just pulled some of the paper right out of the pink purplish area to go along with the theme today for our blog hop. So we are going to take our card base here. This is already scored at 4 1/4. Whoops. I'm going to burnish that edge good. And then Tasteful Texture or Tasteful Textile embossing folder. We're going to emboss this gold foil paper in this embossing folder. I am also going to grab the sunflower die and dye this at the same time. I will be right back. Okay, you guys, wait until you see this beautifulness. I love the look of embossed foil papers. This is going to be super stunning on our card. Then I'm going to bring in my die cut brush adapter. We're going to leave the die on the glimmer paper. Now I ran this through and back in my machine. So I've got 2 runs through my die cutting machine. And now when you leave that die on here, you can be really aggressive with your die cutting brush. Ooh, look at how nice that comes out. Almost everything comes right out of there. And like I said, it's really helpful to run that through and back. So you're getting 2 runs through your machine. And then of course the die brush. Oh, this just makes my life so much easier. Okay, now I like to kind of turn it over here and see if I've missed any of these little polka dots. Little holes that are poked through here. Poked through die. How about die cut, Kelly? Come on. There we go. See, I've got one right there. Okay, there we go. We've got everything out. I like to keep this in a paper pumpkin box that I've turned inside out, and I do that so that I don't lose it with other paper pumpkin boxes in my office. Then I just keep my die cutting brush in there. Oh, and I threw away the lid to my pokey end. I just emptied this out earlier. I'll have to go dumpster diving in a little while. Okay, so here is our beautiful flower. Is that not gorgeous? And that shimmer on there from the glimmer paper is so pretty. We're going to set that aside. We're going to set this aside. We're going to do just a little bit of stamping here. I'm going to bring in my Pick Lovely Labels Pick a Punch. I'm looking at this because one of my grandkids did these labels for me and it's supposed to say pick a punch, but she typed pick up punch. That's funny. I'll have to tell Molly that she did that. She'll get a kick out of that. Okay, I think we're going to use this end right here. Now this piece is 3/4 inches wide and that fits right in this, right in this channel. And I like to punch mine first because it does take a little bit off the end. And that way I know where to place my sentiment. I've got Memento black ink here. And we're going to use the Thanks a Bunch sentiment. And that looks a little crooked to me, so we're going to try the other side. And that looks much better. Okay, close that up. We've got that ready. We've got our flower ready. We've got our gold piece embossed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of embossing on this white layer. I'm going to bring in my Versamark ink, my gold embossing powder, and my big sunflower stamp. Now when I'm using, big stamps like this, I like to leave them lay on my table and bring my ink pad to my stamp. It just works better for me. We're gonna go in the top right corner and the bottom left. Where'd my lid go? Here it is. Okay, I like to close that ink pad up before we bring out any embossing powder because, well, I've had some accidents in my stamping career. Okay, get this cleaned up. My daughter Haley has been helping me in the summer while she's off. She's on maternity leave and she's a teacher, so she would be off in the summer anyways. But she's been helping me, and one of her favorite colors right now is gold. So we're doing a lot of gold projects. I'll ask her, what do you think? She's like, that needs gold. So I guess her moral of the story is that everything looks better with gold. And I do have to kind of agree with her. Okay, we're going to take this magenta and our gold layer and add those two together. Remember, you can always find all of these dimensions and still photos with a complete shopping list of all the products I'm using on my blog. You will find that right here. And then this is my monthly, or I should say my current host code. If your order's under $150, you can use this code. That really helps me out. If your order's over $150, don't use that code. You're going to get some rewards from Stampin' Up, and I definitely want you to have those rewards. But if your order's under $150, you don't get the rewards. And they help me be able to order door prizes to give away. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on this layer. You might notice that there is a black mark on my dimensionals. Crazy, right? The reason is when I pick the backing off, I can tell for sure that it's off because I put a black Sharpie marker stripe on my dimensionals. This is my Wednesday tip video yesterday, and it was shared with me by Debbie, and I absolutely am so grateful because I thought it was brilliant. Check that out. Again, you'll find it on my blog. You can head right over there and scroll down until you see some dimensionals with black marks on them. That'll explain the whole thing. I like to do a tip video every Wednesday. I also share a joke of the week every Wednesday on my blog. I just think we need to laugh a little bit more. Life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Look at how pretty that is, you guys. Isn't that just amazing? Now, I decided I wanted to pop this flower up, and in order to do that, I needed some little strips of dimensionals. So I just took my dimensionals and cut them, into little strips, and I put them on the inside of the centerpiece where you're not going to see them through the other side. So I think 3 little pieces will work perfect for that. Let's see if I can get the backing off without peeling off the dimensional. I think I'm doing pretty good. Then I'm going to take this. You want to make sure that your flower stays within the boundary of your card front. Oh my goodness, what do you think? Isn't that pretty? The glimmer on this flower and then the gold is just striking. So Haley had a really good idea there. Then I'm going to bring in some of my in color enamel dots because we happen to have these in Magenta Madness. My Take Your Pick tool is a perfect little tool to help me add these small embellishments to any project. I'm just going to go up here with one more. So there's our little embellishments. Then we still have this gold piece. And what I decided to do here, we've got Thanks a Bunch on the front. By the way, I'm using Memento ink there if I didn't say that. And now I'm going to come in with congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. I'm going to lay this piece right in here. I could glue it down right now, but I'm just going to stamp my sentiment. There we go. Now we're going to glue this layer in. This is much longer than I need, but I'll just trim the ends off. And I kind of bent the bottom of this, so that's why I'm going off the top and the bottom. Otherwise, I would have butted it up with one or the other, so I only had to do one cut here, but this is going to work out just fine. Does that make sense? This end is kind of bent. I kind of bent it. There we go. That little bit of gold inside there I think is just really classy. I love this card. And I appreciated the teamwork that went into it. Okay, now I have one more card to share with you today using the Celebrate Sunflowers. So let me get this cleaned up and I'll be back with that card. All right, we're gonna stick with our pink theme here because everything is prettier in pink, pretty in pink. This is the Magenta Madness. This is going to be my card base. I'm going to clean my big sunflower stamp here with my chamois. These are wonderful for cleaning stamps. If you don't have a chamois, you need to get one. You can find these in my online store, and of course I always appreciate your orders. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we have a brand new catalog out and another catalog on the way. So our holiday catalog is coming out soon too. If you'd like to get a copy of those catalogs, just pop me an email at kelly@astampinUp.com. I'd be happy to throw one in the mail for you. I always like looking at the hard copy. Of course, you can see them online, but it's just so much more fun to be able to sit down and page through it in real life. Now I'm using Magenta Madness ink here, and I'm going to kind of do the very same layout. We're just going to change the colors of cardstock on here. So we've got one in the top up there, one in the bottom right here. Close that up. And I actually should have stamped this after we emboss, but I wasn't thinking. Make sure I get this cleaned off good. I'm going to stamp it on my scrap paper here a little bit. Now I'm going to bring in this white layer. Now this is just a little bit smaller than the gold layer here, but this is going to be the same layout. I'm going to use Versamark ink. And we're going to have this sunflower right up here in the top corner. And again, we're going to have some embossing happening here. Maybe, there we go. Oops, I missed the top up there. There we go. I like to give it a couple good bursts of air. I'll blow on it, like puff on it, to get off that excess embossing powder. I thought about coloring this flower in and then decided it didn't need it. It's going to be very classy looking. So now on the front of this card, I'm going to go with the congratulations sentiment stamped in black. We're going to mount this 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 piece of Whisper White onto a gold foil that's 3 by 4 1/4. So just a little bit different sizing here than the last card, just by a tiny bit. I love that pop of gold underneath this layer. Then we're going to bring in some ribbon. We've got the In Color, this is the Magenta Madness twill ribbon, and the gold twine that's from the Forever Greenery trim combo pack. And again, you can find a complete shopping list on my blog with these cards. So it just makes it easier. You can click on it, it'll go right to my store. You can see all the details. I'm just going to cut this off here. Then I'm going to take a couple pieces of this twine and kind of wrap them back and forth. I've kind of overlapped it like this. I want to just tie this into my twill ribbon. Okay, so I've got that. Then I'm going to bring this is just looped around. We're going to cut one of those ends. Just hang with me for a second. I just want that gold pop. Now I'm just tying this in a knot, if I can get a hold of it. There we go. Don't cut your ribbon too short, because that always makes it really hard to make things happen with it. Okay, there we go. Now this will kind of fray. I got that bug. Yes, there will be bugs harmed in the making of my videos. One day, you guys, I was doing a video for my team, and I was wearing a baseball hat. I'd just come back in from a walk in our nature preserve, and a little tiny spider came off, like down from the bill of my baseball cap right in front of my face as I was doing a Facebook Live. Hang on, I just kind of messed that up. It was so funny. I grabbed that little bugger and smushed him. Okay, let's cut this a little bit smaller. There we go. That's the look I'm looking for. Do you see that gnat that's like flying around here? I think I got him. Okay. Didn't know I was so violent, did you? Look at how pretty that is. All right, now we're going to take this and we're going to mount this on some dimensionals. And again, I've got those striped dimensionals here. And I like to take my dimensionals off with my piercing end of my Take Your Pick tool. So this just ensures that I know they're off by having that black mark on there. It's kind of cool. Look at how pretty this is, you guys. Now with this one, I decided to use some of the gilded gems. And these are gold. And I thought they would just be so pretty. And I'm just going to put a couple of those on my magenta layer. Just like this. What do you think? All right, one last thing that I need to do here. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch Whisper White layer for the inside. I'm going to clean my stamp off. And now I'm going to put that thank you sentiment on the inside, just like that. I lost my lid there. And I'm going to bring in my Magenta Madness again and stamp this right in the corner. Wow. Like, that's really bright, right? This will be our inside of our card, and then of course you can stamp up your envelope to match. Put that big flower right on the front. Should we do that? We'll do that on 2 envelopes because I have 2 cards here. As long as we've got the ink out and the stamp is got the ink on it. I'm just going to put this in the bottom right corner down here. Whoops. And one more. There we go. All right, let's take a look at these. We've got this one. Wowzers. Very bright. And the other one that we made. Wow, very pretty. I think this qualifies for pretty in pink, you guys. All right, now, if you would like to check out any of the details, see still photos, get all the dimensions in one place, you can click right up here in the corner. That's going to take you over to my blog. That's where you're also going to find the One Stamp at a Time blog hop. Everybody is making pretty in pink projects today, so make sure you check that out. Also, if you'd like to place an order, I always appreciate your orders. You're going to find my online ordering store there with a complete list of the ingredients. This is my current host code. I always appreciate when you use that. And once again, thank you guys so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. Also, you're going to find on my blog that I have an online class coming up very soon using the Celebrate Sunflowers, and it is going to be fantastic. It's going to include 8 different cards and then a little stationery box with a set of 8 cards. Very fun. Online classes are fantastic. Make sure you check that out. Let me know if you have any questions. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.